very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico di Cabia Mapuni, Chineke, and son of Isala, Nina Goza Hanso, Nana Jama, Nana Faros, Obanana, Obia, and then saw no one in Because you will make a Biafra with your source and we're not going to but you know what? They would like you to believe that Amalgamation is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico di Cabia Mapuni, Chineke, and son of Isala, Nina Goza Hanso, Nana Jama, Nana Faros, Obanana, Obia, and then saw no one in Because you will make a Biafra with your source and we're not going to But you know what? They would like you to believe that Amalgamation is the cause of this. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.
Evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you, the more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own actions. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Nigeria, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. Everybody brought them in. All the state government brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where will the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a rail line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money, you come to Soap, you come to Ohaji, you come to everybody, you come to Agulere, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building a way to be jealous, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for you one Nigeria, one Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax and pay. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport to Niger. Refinery to Niger. You take oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria. You are not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money so that they will come out, pages of the newspaper to give the world the giving impression that everything is okay. When things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working, we are marginalized, and then you come back to say Nigeria is one, you must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working, you're marginalized, you are being discriminated against, you are suffering, they are killing you everywhere, and you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. So I'm a Democrat, I'm subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku Abubakar wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku Abubakar said, come and help us fight terrorism, in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep plotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said that because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not people. When I say they say I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of them are people. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou. From the book of Psalm, chapter 7. And I will pray in English because a lot of people are listening all over the world. I mean, a lot. Millions are listening all over the world. And I want them to follow our proceedings this very evening. Very, very critical, very, very important that we do so. O Lord, my God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, we take refuge in you. Save and deliver us from all that pursue us. Because if you look away from us, they will tear us apart like a lion and rip us to pieces with no one to rescue us. Because the world is against Biafra for no reason. We are hated, we are despised for no discernible reason. Only thee, O Lord God Almighty in heaven, is our Savior, not man. You must come to our rescue. Because you are our Lord and you are our God. If we have done this, if I have done anything, if there is guilt on my hands, if I have repaid anybody, be it friend or an adversary, with evil or without cause, have done wrong to any man or woman, then let the Fulani Janjaweed pursue and overtake me. Let them trample down my life to the ground and make me sleep in the dust. Arise, O Elohim, Adonai El Shaddai, in your anger, rise up against the rage of the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate and the Zoological Republic. You will rise and you will fight for your children. You will awake, O Heavenly Father, Lord God Almighty, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the owner of the universe, for you must decree justice. Let your children and all men and of goodwill gather around you while you sit on top of your throne in the highest of the heavens, the habitation that only thee can ever occupy. Only you, O Heavenly Father, will judge the people. You will vindicate me. O Lord, you will vindicate IPOB. You will vindicate your children of Biafra according to our righteousness, according to our integrity. O Most High, bring an end to the violence of the wicked. Bring an end to Fulani Janjaweed violence in our land. Bring an end to their abductions. Bring an end to their kidnappings. Bring an end to their extrajudicial slaughter of the innocent. Bring an end to their forced conversion of Christians into Islam. Bring to an end their mediocrity. Bring to an end their senseless feudal rule. Bring to an end their evil and their deception. Come and secure the righteous, because only you, O God Almighty in heaven, can see in the dark. Only you know the hearts of men. You are our shield. We have nobody. Between 67 and 1970, the whole world ganged up and fought against your children. We did not steal anything from anybody. We did not go after anybody's possession nor inheritance. We were on our own in the land that you gave to our ancestors. They conspired, they connived, they colluded to kill us. Over 5 million people. We are dead at the end of it. You are our shield. We do not trust in any man or in any state. We trust only in thee, because you are God and you always save the upright at heart. Anybody whose heart is clean, O Heavenly Father, to those you do not abandon to their enemies. That is why you cannot abandon IPOB. That is why Biafra can never be abandoned. Because your words are yea and amen. You are God, you're not human. Facebook may have been bought over by Nigeria, and we pray that Twitter will not succumb to their threats and their violence. You are God, and you are an upright and a just judge. But you are also a God that displays his wrath every blessed day. If Fulani Janjaweed do not relent in what they are doing, if the Fulani Caliphate continues to pursue this scorched earth policy of abductions and murder and mayhem, then you, O Lord God in heaven, you will sharpen your sword, you will bend and string your bow, you will prepare your deadly weapons, you will make ready your flaming arrows. Whoever is pregnant with evil conceives trouble and gives birth to disillusionment. That is what is happening in the zoo called Nigeria. Nigeria is pregnant with evil because it conceived trouble and it has now given birth to disillusionment. All the holes that the Fulani Janjaweed are digging for us into that pit, they are falling into one after the other. The trouble that they have caused will always rebound on them. Their violence will come down on their own heads. O Heavenly Father, for we shall give thee thanks always, all the days of our lives, because only thee is righteous. We shall sing songs of praise unto your holy name, O Most High. For as long as there is a child on this earth of Biafran descent and heritage, O Heavenly Father, we shall worship your name and your name alone, now and forevermore we pray. Ise, Ise, He said, that was our prayer this evening. We are now going to proceed without further hesitation to bring to you the gospel which I have been mandated by heaven to preach to the children of men. To read a verse in the Bible, something that in the Torah, the original Bible, something that Samuel said. Not this one, the Europeans added their own to it. The original word of God, the Torah. And Samuel said, as your sword has made women childless, so will your mother be childless among women. And Samuel put Agag to death before the Lord at Gilgal. I want Fulani Janjaweed to understand. As you have made many mothers childless and turned women to widows, so shall you also be childless. Your children will bear. As I see, by the time we are done with what we are doing, the world will record IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu as mad people. That's what I want. You people are about to see madness, the type you've never seen before. All that money you're saving, you're accumulating and stealing and depositing in Dubai, UAE government will eat it. All the money you have stolen and put in England, the Bank of England will take it. Your children cannot eat it. Oh, you think you can kill other people's children and you're only walking about very free? You people are jokers, honestly. You people, you are mad. You are insane. We don't forgive. We're not going to forget. You see, everybody you killed at Mpo, National High School, at my house, Isiama Faruku, everybody you killed, we are going to avenge all of them. We are going to avenge all of them. That you may see madness. And then after that, let your children come and enjoy now. Let's see. You think you're smart. You can kill other people's children and your own will be enjoying. Going to Cambridge and on stolen wealth. You must be dreaming. Let me tell you what Samuel said. Shmuel, of course, correct pronunciation. As your sword has killed the sons of many mothers. I think the New Living Translation is better. And I want this quotation everywhere, tonight, all over the world. The first book of Samuel, chapter 15, verse 33. Use the New Living Translation. This is for Fulani generals and police commissioners in our land. As your AK-47 has killed, ponder over it. Very, very important. As they are doing all this, they are nonsense. They're saying the North cannot be threatened. These are the people threatening us. That is one thing. Sometimes I wonder the type of journalism you have in Nigeria. The people threatening us, they're in our forest, killing us, are now turning around and saying you cannot threaten us. Hey, Zoo. They're called the Northern Elders Forum. It's from their news today. The North can't be threatened into submitting to separatist agenda. That foolishness of IPOB, everybody is now foolish. That thing we saw many years ago, and they killed us for it. They campaigned against us for it. Now everybody has seen it. Isn't God wonderful? Do you see why I said that IPOB, they are the only chosen people? I'm being honest. They are the only people who, what we saw many years ago, some of you are saying it just last night. The Northern Elders Forum has said no amount of political maneuver by secessionists in parts of the country will threaten the North's political fortune ahead of the 2023 elections, which means they are telling you that we hold the key to Nigeria. That's what I'm telling you. People who are in our forests, raping and killing our people, they are telling us that we are the ones threatening them. And newspapers will carry this junk. No, his name is Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed. And my name is is you. Yoruba young people are rising up. You are now claiming we are separatists, irredentists, or whatever garbage you call it. Because you think we are fools. Because you will use Daily Trust, you will use all these stupid Nigerian media houses to drown. That's what I'm telling you. People who are in our forests, raping and killing our people, they are telling us that we are the ones threatening them. And newspapers will carry this junk. No, his name is Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed. And my name is Mazen Namdekan. We are not relatives. I don't know who this man is. By blood, by genetic disposition, by religion, by culture, by social inclination, I don't know who they are or where they came from. Just that Britain decided that we saw a bunch of monkeys in Africa. Let's put them together as one country. That's what happened. He described the wave of irredentism. Not the wave of Fulani banditry, no. They think they're clever. And some of you make Fulani feel that they're very clever. They're very foolish. Fulani, you people are the ones threatening us. You are the ones in our forest. Fulani, you are the ones that sent Yoruba people on exile as refugees into Benin Republic. Fulani, it is you. Yoruba young people are rising up. You are now claiming we are separatists, irredentists, or whatever garbage you call it. Because you think we are fools. Because you will use Daily Trust, you will use all these stupid Nigerian media houses to drown everybody out. No, but not us. I will come on air to preach. And millions all over the world will listen. Because what we are preaching is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Fulani, you are the problem. But you're the ones complaining because you think we're all foolish. Of course, most of us are in the southern part of the zoo. That is why we must continue to tell the Fulani Janjaweed that they cannot succeed. Nigeria must fall. The zoo must fall. There is no alternative. You must go back to where you come from. Even the Hausa will reclaim Gobe, which is Sokoto. Mark my words somewhere. Hausa peasants will rise up against Fulani Janjaweedism. They think they're smart, but no, they are not. They have come to the end of the road. They have come into the land of the rising sun, the land of the ancients, where God in his infinite wisdom saw it fit to plant the first human being on this very earth. That is your end. If you don't know, let me tell you now. Let me tell you one thing you don't understand. Ojukwu is our Moses. All God did between 67 and 70 is to show us that there's a land he prepared for us called Biafra. That's all he did. And now this generation is here to get it. And the walls of that Jericho must fall. The zoo must fall. I have a very, very critical and so
Biafrans all over the world, those that are listening live and those that will listen after this particular space. I have come this evening unannounced to brief Biafrans on the success that the Biafra government are making globally. We need to, as we approach December 2nd or the November-December convention, it is very important and imperative that will keep you updated every time when the opportunity calls. My fellow Biafrans, you must understand one thing, which will become a norm as we go forward. Always remember that Nigeria terrorist state came into being through conquest and the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied indigenous people the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted in 1914. And it was called the Amalgamation of Nigeria. Today, we are no longer comfortable in this amalgamation. We are no longer comfortable in this conquest. We are no longer comfortable in this injustice, in this faulty foundation. And we say it is time for redress after decades. And of course, as we all know how government works all over the world from history, somebody have to rise up to brutally, ruthlessly resist them, especially when the government become evil, like Nigeria. Somebody have to get up and lead that change. And that's exactly what we are doing today. Like they have done it in America and other parts of the world. America took the bull by its horn in 1776 against the same people we are fighting today in Proce. And that's exactly why it is important that you know the diplomatic wave of the Biafra government today. In the past weeks, the Biafra government has met notable decision makers in the United States, Washington, D.C., on a diplomatic consultation over the Biafra coming declaration in Finland. And of course, this consultation continues, including consultation with a high level individuals across Asia and of course Africa as well. Like you all know, last week, the officials of the Biafra government met with dignitaries, policymakers, decision makers, including the Speaker of the House of Representatives of the United States of America. We will continue to educate them on the need for Biafra to become an independent state. We will continue to educate them on the need to support the declaration of Biafra. We will continue to educate them on the need to also support the Biafra self-referendum, because Nigeria thought by locking the door of the constitution, they have defeated everybody. But we have smarted them. So this consultation will continue even after the declaration of the 2nd of December 2024, until those who have what it takes to pursue and support the recognition of Biafra will understand the need for them to do so. My fellow Biafrans, I want you to understand one thing, that the civil disobedience that we have used for the past 3 years have yielded the exact and even more than the result we required and we expected from it. And you know, with all the propaganda, the blackmail they use trying to demonize our people, demonize them, not to continue to sit at home, they failed. And let me tell you, one of the things they usually come with is that, oh, you are destroying the economy. Oh, the sit at home, because of the sit at home, they have lost billions in the South. Now, let me make it very clear today. Any day they come with such nonsense, ask them, when the sit at home was not there, they were making this billion. What have they done with the billions? Ask them, what have they done with the billions? And what have the sit at home now done to stop that thing they were doing with the billions? Ask them, what have they done when the sit at home was not there and they were generating these billions? Did they use it to build road? The answer is no. Did they use these billions to build hospital? The answer is no. Did they use this billion to build social amenity for you? The answer is no. Did they use this billion to give you national insurance scheme? The answer is no. Did they use this billion to give you free education? The answer is no. Then why are they now so worried about losing these particular billions to the sit at home? Do you know who it is affecting? It's affecting them. That billion they were looting is what they cannot loot again. And everybody is hungry. All of them. Ask them, how have they sit at home destroyed ordinary man's economy? They were not sharing those billion with them. How have they sit at home, or this billion that they are talking about, affect an ordinary man who goes out and sell market and feed his family? And if he didn't go tomorrow, he will go the next day to sell and feed his family. It doesn't affect them. And that is why our people discover that actually it is very, very effective. They keyed into it. The people that are subjugating our people to slavery were the ones shouting and crying of economy. The economy that the common man never benefited from. The economy that the common man will never benefited. Before they could train their children in school, they will suffer and suffer and suffer. Why these people are making billions through the revenue that they generate from different states. Today, they are losing that revenue and they are crying of economy. I want you to understand also that for those of them today that are surprised of the wave that the Biafra government is making globally, using our lobbyists and from different dimensions that we are using for the liberation of Biafra, they are surprised. They call it fake. They say it's a photoshopping. You can imagine. We will be posting Speaker of House of Representatives of the United States of America. We post it on Twitter, our finance minister. And so, as we are today, as a government, we will now be posting fake image of a high top rank officials of the United States of America on Twitter, claiming that we met them. This is the level of idiocy of the people who have been shouting Biafra for many years. Because that is what they did, actually. Of course they cannot even Photoshop reasonable people. But most of the things they posted for many years were all Photoshop. Many of them, everything is Photoshop. The Photoshop that I said I'm going to bring sheep, they use it to feed their ego, feed themselves on social media. The Photoshop where I posted the guy that died in Russia, which I have refused to make a video to today. The Photoshop, everything about them is Photoshopping. That was how they were fighting Biafra. Now, that's why nobody ever took them serious. But today, we are not in Photoshopping in the government. Everything is real. I went to the office of the president of Finland to submit a document. Then, that was like 2 years ago, they say it's fake. And with my level in Finland, I will be posting that I submitted a letter to the office of the president of Finland and it is fake. I brought even acknowledgement from the office of the president Niinisto, the former president, that they have received the letter where I was appealing to them to support the Biafra independence. They acknowledge the receipt of that letter with evidences of Nigeria, violation of Biafra rights, and this criminals, political pressure group IPOB Nigeria, they say is a fake. I want you to understand that they remain criminals and fake. They remain Nigeria political pressure group. Otherwise, under IPOB Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he was looking for 100 men. With all the idiots scattered all over the world shouting IPOB, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was looking for 100 men. Do you think he was actually wrong? Do you think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was wrong to be shouting for 100 men on Radio Biafra, where these illiterates were littered everywhere, doing container shipping with IPOB money? Is it that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was wrong for saying, I need 100 men, where they have all these market women? If market women, I don't want to belittle the market women, they're actually very hard working. But today, when we say that we are not going to use lobbies, we're not going to waste money on lobbies, was when we do not have the foundation, was when there was nothing to show. You don't go and start paying lobbies when you don't have anything on ground. That was what this political pressure group did, only to just entice people and scam their fans of their hard-earned money. That was what they did. They deceived Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be paying 80,000. Even those people paying that money, $80,000, they were doing Abatek here with the same lobby firm. How many Biafrans know that the same lobby firm that were paying 80,000 was the same lobby firm that was defending Okonjo Iweala? The same time they were defending Okonjo Iweala, and at the same time IPOB was paying them $80,000. And you think they actually received that money? Now ask yourself, with this their so-called lobbies, can they bring one picture of them meeting anybody in Washington DC? I want to share a story. The reason the $80,000 lobbying firm, whether they actually paid that money or not, the reason why that particular agreement was revoked was because of Okorafor, Uchenna. Uchenna Okorafor, the secretary to Onyendu, wanted to be part of the meeting of this lobbyist, and she participated in that meeting few times. Do you know who is the chairman of the lobbyists like representing IPOB? Do you know? Now let me tell you. The person who was in charge of the IPOB lobbying group is called Ogbuehi. Ogbuehi that doesn't know nothing in America. Ogbuehi was the one in charge of from the IPOB group. Ogbuehi was the one in charge, telling the lobbyists that he is the representative of the IPOB. Uchenna Okorafor went to the meeting several times. Ogbuehi will sit there and say nothing. In fact, nothing was being said, nothing was being discussed. That Uchenna Okorafor wanted to raise an objection that this payment of $80,000 or whatever they were paid, that the money is being thrown into ocean. They started fighting her. This was happening, bam! And Onyendu was kidnapped. Now, Oyibo came on board. Giddy, hired another one they call Allen White. We did the shambolic agreement. He started paying $60,000. This time, I was the one preparing documents for Allen White I was the one, Simon Ekpa, was the one preparing, filing annexes, evidences of the Nigeria human rights violation against Biafra people. I was the one compiling documents day and night. I didn't sleep. But they were the one receiving $60,000. Nothing. The first annex, I filed it. The second annex, I filed it. Working with somebody in Strasbourg. I am sharing this story because I don't think I've shared this story ever. At the point, I questioned why 60,000 is being paid because I am doing this job by writing and compiling these evidences as an annex. I will do it. They will tell me to do it again. I will do it, and they will have some kind of proofread these annexes up to 5 times. I will not sleep to make sure that these annexes met the standard requirement of the ICC. At the end of the day, they will pay them $60,000. I begin to question Oyibo before she begin to say, okay, now maybe we are going to stop paying them. Why am I telling this story? Then I said, we will never hire lobby. We will do this ourselves until further notice. Because you don't hire lobbyists when you don't have any structure. You don't hire lobbyists, and what are they going to be telling the people you are meeting? Oh, that you are from Biafra land, you are fighting for freedom. What exactly are you going to show? To show how serious you are. Discussing with the people if you actually have the opportunity to meet the people. What are you going to present to them? That you are carrying flag on the street? Is that what you are going to present to them? Or that Nigeria is killing you? No! I know what I am doing. I have the template to get there. I said nobody will hire lobbyists until the right time comes. And the right time is when we have put every structure in place, including government institutions, which include the Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra forces. Though these are part of the government institution that must be put in place. Because as we are doing this, we will not sit down and watch Nigeria kill our people and to use their picture to go to the ICC. No, we will defend ourselves as much as possible. Then we decided to start preparing for the defense of Biafra. If you remember, we started preparing for the defense of Biafra. Then the Biafra government in exile came on board. Before then, a lot of things that happened on the ground. Yet, we decided to have the first ever convention, first ever convention internationally. Ever, first. IPOB Nigeria never did it. First ever international Biafra convention where declarations were made, where alliances were signed, and it became part of the history of the struggle. After that, we begin to put in place all the institutions of the government, department, ministries. We begin to appoint ministers, cabinet members, and all that. And of course, we begin to officially defend ourselves, engaging the Nigeria terrorist army. Head on, iron to iron, gun to gun, and they're hearing it. Now, after we have achieved all these things, we also did not just achieve them, we also defined the Biafra map. Because if you want to go and do lobby, the people that you are going to meet, if they're actually serious and real, they're first of all going to ask you, where is your map? That question that I've been asking all this while is actually the right question from the wrong people. Then we define our map. We did not just define our map, we also created the state. We allowed everybody inside that map to define the boundaries of their state. And they did. They presented to me 40 United States of Biafra, which is the structure that we have even before the emergence of Wazirike and IPOB. I resurrected the plan of Ojoko, which is not known by anybody. Now, after that, when we see that the government is functioning very well, including, before I forget, including establishing the de facto government in the homeland, which gave birth to the map and the state structure. After that, we now say that, okay, we have achieved the criteria to be recognized as a state. You can never ever be recognized as a state under a political pressure group, according to international law. The law of Montevideo Convention make it very clear. The criteria you must attain to be recognized as a state. Under IPOB Nigeria, you can never qualify for that. Where is the structure? And that is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw and told this idiot. Go and listen to Simon Ekpa. He is bringing a new dimension to this awareness we're making. Now look around yourself. Will you say there is no new dimension? Will you say that we are doing what they were doing since 10 years or 30 years ago? The answer is no. If he was so selfish, he wouldn't tell you to listen to me. If he was so stupid or self-centered, he wouldn't tell you to listen to me. He would think that I'm a threat. Because the time I wanted to interview him in my platform, those people who surrounded him and he was looking for 1,000 men fought against him coming to my platform. And he was like, are we still fighting for Biafra, or is there something they are protecting? If you see somebody that is better than you, bring him in. That was what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. They were saying, don't go, don't go, don't go. That night he was on call, or everywhere they are in the world, they were calling him. Don't go, don't appear, don't appear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was like, are we not fighting for Biafra again? Why they were calling him on phone? I was on the phone also with Uche Okorafor's mother. And I was listening and hearing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the phone. Don't go. He didn't take oath. Oh, that guy is a traitor. They have given us information from Finland. What information did they give to you from Finland? The information that Simon Ekpa is somebody in Finland. That was the information. Are they telling you that Simon Ekpa is a criminal in Finland? No. That Simon Ekpa is connected. That was the information. And for that reason, he will hijack everything. That was the information. But did he actually come to hijack? The answer is no. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw somebody who will change the face of the agitation for Biafra. And he was happy. And today, that thing he saw in me is manifesting. And I told him and promised him, if you are ready, really, really ready to fight for this Biafra, I will be the first person. And you are ready to do anything. I asked him, are you ready to do anything on live broadcast to get Biafra? And before he answered me, I said, hold on. If you are ready, I will be the first person to follow you. Now, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu approved doing anything for Biafra, why are they fighting what I'm doing today, which is actually anything? Ask them, ask yourself, why are the people who followed him fighting me when I am actually doing anything to get Biafra? Because he promised me that he will do anything to get Biafra. But of course, like I said, if they were actually with him, he will not be looking for 100 men. Where IPOB all over the world was contributing money and in millions of dollars. If I'm not mistaken, IPOB could have up to $5 million. Where is the money today? There is nothing, absolutely nothing to show for it. When we took over this agitation, now in liberation, there were no guns, not even AK-47. Everything you see Biafra Liberation Army using today, we bought it from scratch. We did not snatch gun from the terrorist army. Under IPOB, they were telling them to go and snatch gun. We did not snatch gun. We buy every single gun you see them using today. And of course, minus those ones we are manufacturing by ourselves. And it will continue like that. Then when we have decided that now we have met the requirement according to the Montevideo Convention to be recognized as a state, it is time to bring in the lobbyists. Because when you see them today, they say, oh, is he not the one who condemned lobbyists? Is he not the one who condemned IPOB saying he's not going to hire? Why should I hire lobbyists as a political pressure group? Now that you that have hired lobbyists and paid 80,000, which you did not actually pay, as a matter of fact, what did you achieve? Can you show me where the lobbyists arrange a meeting for any IPOB member in Washington, D.C.? The answer is no. Because the money, some of the money were actually never paid to them. But the people who were seated as the committee, which way he was leading, they know what happened to those 80,000 every month. Today, how much are we paying? We are paying 10,000 every month to lobbyists. And look at the result. You will know that the people who are lobbying for us are not after money. It's a public information. It is not hidden. But IPOB, they will hide it. Or IPOB Nigeria, not even IPOB Nigeria. They will hide it. They say, oh, we don't want to. You see them telling you, oh, you are exposing your lobbyists. Why should we be hiding what we are doing for a nation, for a country,
for independence. No need to hide it. And of course, now that we have met the requirement according to the Montevideo Convention, you know, some of them don't even know what is Montevideo Convention. They are just shouting, "Oh, let us go and outside and protest." During the time I traveled Mazin Namdekanu, I read the Montevideo Convention and he was shocked. He was shocked. I want all of you to go and watch the interview I had with him. He was shocked when I read the Montevideo Convention to him because I don't think any other person among them knew actually what is Montevideo Convention. I read the Montevideo Convention to Mazin Namdekanu and go and listen to that interview and listen to the comment he made after I read that convention to him. He said, "Wow, you never knew that I knew this." I want you people to go and refresh your brain. Watch it. I came to this Biafra prepared. I said that no, after me, I will handle freedom to the new generation. Nobody will fight for freedom again from Biafra land. That is what I'm doing. It does not matter. I said I will turn to a beast and still Biafra will come. So if you think that you have seen half of it, no. The harder Nigeria become, the more brutal I also become to free my people. I want you to understand that now that the Biafra government has met the requirement according to the international law to be recognized as a state, that is where our lobbies now coming. So everything we are doing, you are going and presenting who you are to the people that can influence the recognition of Biafra. From the Washington, D.C., from Asia, from Europe, from Africa. You will go and show who you are. The government you are representing has a map. The government you are representing has conducted self-referendum. There are evidences everywhere of how the self-referendum is being conducted. We have recorded over 50 million votes. You can't beat that. That is what we call outsmarting the terrorist state of Nigeria. And they were taking us for a joke. Today, they are no longer taking us for a joke anymore. They are calling ICC to one man, Simon Ekpa. And they tell you, oh, the time they were catching Mazin Namdekanu, why didn't they make it public? Why would they make it public? Because they thought Mazin Namdekanu is the only person that was talking genuinely. And once they capture him, Biafra is dead. And of course, they celebrated the kidnap of Mazin Namdekanu in Abuja, including the one some people were kneeling down thanking God in Lagos. Oh, they came every now and then to grant national interview on national TV that Biafra is dead. Let them see how they will rise up again. As that was happening, Simon Ekpa was somewhere observing them. Ejiofor promised them he's in charge of IPOB. Where is he today? He's gone. I want you to understand, mark my word now. Once Mazin Namdekanu is out, IPOB is gone, dissolved, completely dissolved. Mark my word. Every person today that is fighting me on the other side will be gone. I want you to mark this day. Mark this word I'm telling you now. Every one of them will be gone. As we approaching the December declaration of Biafra, we will continue to push for the recognition of Biafra. At the same time, getting investors ready to invest in Biafra land. And when you hear them, when you see that they are everybody, I told you people that the propaganda is going to increase. Do not think that you have seen propaganda. No, you have not seen. Somebody like me, I am already cooked. But what about you? Just close your ear. You already know what you know. Close your ear, lock your heart. Propaganda is going to come. I told you people a few weeks ago. So if you think that what you see springing up on social media is going to end soon, my brother, you are in for a very long journey. It is actually now that the propaganda is starting because they have seen that I am not backing down. They have seen somebody that they have never seen in their life. You know, they say that I am not an Igbo man, that Igbo people don't have the heart I have. That is why we're different. They say, oh, I'm a Fulani, I'm wicked, I have to be wicked. If you are not wicked, you can't fight Nigeria. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is where he is today. I learned from him, learned from other people that failed, and I'm here to end it. After I finish with Nigeria, believe me, the people that will be in the Nigeria side will never name their child Simon. Of course, they don't even have to name their Islamic state. They don't name their children Simon. I'm just telling you that even those who love Nigeria because of corruption and they are Christians, they will never name their child Simon. That is what is going to happen. After I finish with them, I will be here. Biafra freedom will come from diaspora. I promised them for many years, since 2021, that I will bring the Biafra freedom from diaspora. I want you to look around yourself. Is it not coming from diaspora? They thought they have locked everywhere. If you go to Nigeria, they kill you. If you do, they will challenge you. Come to Nigeria, so we'll take you serious. Come to Nigeria. Because I will not come to Nigeria. If you want to die, go and put yourself on war. I will not come to Nigeria. I will be here to fight for my people, and I will be here and free my people from Nigeria. When Queen Elizabeth was controlling you in Nigeria and doing amalgamation, was she there? Was she there? Queen Elizabeth, the same Londugard, was she there? I will do like her. I will be here and free Biafra, and then I will come to unify Biafra people after Biafra has been recognized. I will be here to fight because freedom is not coming from Nigeria. Freedom is coming from abroad. Freedom is coming from the United Nations. Freedom is coming from Washington, D.C. Freedom is coming from the European Union. Freedom is not coming from Africa. Freedom is not coming from Nigeria. Freedom is not coming from Abuja. Freedom is coming from America. It's coming from Europe. You don't know that, know it. No matter how sad and bad it sounds. But that is the fact. So why should I go to Nigeria where freedom is not coming from? It's coming from here. Thank you very much.
The very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. As always, we have been able to play a whole lot of messages from Mazi Nandekano and Mazi Simon Ekman. And those messages are very important for educational purpose and to refresh our memories. So many of us seem to forget where we are coming from and where we are going. So that is why most time I take you back to where we are coming from so that you can know where we are coming from and also know where we are today and where we are going. That's why I play those messages. So each time you see me spend time here, spend hours playing the messages of Mazi, Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nandekano, it is to refresh your memory because so many of us are forgetful. And also, it is to help to answer some questions that we are asking. So many of us are asking questions that we already have the answer, questions that the answers are already given, and you are still asking those questions. So each time I play those videos, if you pay attention and listen carefully, you will definitely get an answer to those questions. That is why I have to play it. For those who are patient enough to wait and listen, there is never a time you will listen to those messages and you never get something from it. You will definitely get something, except you are looking for something else. Except you are not looking for Biafra. You are not looking for a Biafra motivation, or you're not seeking for the truth in Biafra struggle. If you are seeking for the truth in the Biafra struggle, whenever you hear the message of Mazi Simon Eba, Mazi Nandikan, you pay attention because today there are many conceptions, many misconceptions from all angles, from all corners, many deceptions that are coming from all voices, all corners. Attack coming from east, west, north, and south. People are very confused as we speak. There is a lot of confusion in the air. So much confusion that I pity those who just joined lately. That's where my concern is. Those that just joined this struggle lately, I pity them so much because many of them are very confused. And I don't blame them because of misinformation, because of confusion messages that is coming from all angles, all corners. So when I see that confusion, I don't blame them. More especially those that joined lately. Many of them do not know their left and their rights. So that is why the job is becoming more difficult for us, and we have to try as much as possible to do the ones we can and allow Chukwu Abiyama to do his part. One of the things we will always do is to take you to memory lane and make sure you key in for memory lanes than what have happened in the past. So I welcome every one of you. As always, in this platform, we don't come to instigate violence. We do not come to preach hate. We don't come to attack people or individuals. What we do in this platform, and we have been doing, is to preach the truth of Biafra, to present Biafra to the world as a remedy, to provide solution to the contraction called Nigeria. That is what we have been doing, and that is what we will continue to do for as long as we are still in this journey. So whenever we speak about these issues, it is very important. And I urge every Biafran, wherever you are, I understand the situation. I understand how difficult it is. Hold your peace. Hold your peace. It is not difficult to find a way out, and it's not difficult to hold the truth. Sometimes our problem is that we are not patient enough to pay attention and listen. We are not patient enough to define Biafra for ourselves. We are not even patient enough to understand why we are doing what we are doing, how we got to where we are today, and where are we today. Then you ask yourself, where are we heading to? These are very important questions that we are supposed to be asking. And when we ask it, it will help us also to be able to know what to do. But nevertheless, we will continue to do our part. Today, we are discussing on an issue that says Igbo resilience, why the people in Nigeria fear are actually the solution. Why the people Nigeria fear are actually the solution. Igbo resilience. why the people Nigerian fear are actually the solution. The people that Nigeria are afraid of, they are actually the solution. The Igbo resilience. We have talked so much about the Igbo phobia. Many people have spoken about it, and some people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to offend people, or they don't want people to feel inferior. But sometimes you cannot avoid these topics. In as much as we try to avoid it so that people don't misunderstand us, to misinterpret our move, or to think on a different way. But at the same time, you cannot shy away from these topics. The Igbo resilience. Why the people Nigerian fears are actually the solution. You can agree with me that today Nigerians see the Igbos as the problem in Nigeria. Nigeria itself sees the Igbos as the problem. And because of that, they have gone ahead to continue to convince every other person that the Igbos are the problem. One of the major contracts Nigeria has today is to convince the world that the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria. But in other way around, Igbos are not the problem, they are the solution. Igbos are the solution, not the problem. In fact, the people who are supposed to be complaining are the Igbos, because Nigeria is holding them down. Nigeria is the reason they are facing the challenges they are facing today. Nigeria is the reason they are scattered all over the world. Nigeria is the reason they are sounding the way they sound. Nigeria is the reason they are asking for self-determination. Nigeria is the reason they are asking for an independent state. And from every indication, Nigeria is holding the Igbos down, and they cannot continue to be in that manner. Since Nigeria have refused to look at the solution, because from day one, they have always been the solution. They have made every effort to see that Nigeria, as Nigeria works. So when you see the way we talk about this agitation, some people will think that we just come out, thus we just came out and we begin to talk about agitation, we begin to talk about freedom, we begin to talk about self-determination. No, it is not that way. Even apart from the fact that Nigeria was forcefully amalgamated in 1914, apart from that, the Igbos also gave that chance to build Nigeria and make it what should be. They have made every single effort. If there are people that have sacrificed to make Nigeria work, it is the Igbos. Up till today, as we speak, the only people that have paid the ultimate sacrifice to see whether Nigeria will work or not remains the Igbos. But every time they make that move, it turns out to be something different. Why is Nigeria afraid of those who are the solution? Every time we talk, we are not just speaking because we want to speak. We are not just complaining because we want to complain. We are complaining and speaking because there is something wrong. Today we are discussing a topic that many people fear to confront directly, a topic that sits at the heart of Nigerian political crisis today. We are going to examine some powerful realities, about 3 powerful realities of today. And we will continue to talk about them. The Monday sit-at-home phenomenon, the extraordinary resilience of Igbo people inside Nigeria, and the unresolved political contradiction created in 1914 when different nations were forced together under one colonial arrangement called Nigeria. For years, propaganda has attempted to portray the Igbo people as a problem. For many years, each time they discuss, Nigerian discourse is being put on the table. Propaganda has attempted to portray the Igbo people as a problem. But today, we will examine the different question. What if the Igbos are not the problem in Nigeria? What if the Igbos are actually the solution Nigeria has failed to recognize? Which is exactly what they are. And more importantly, what happens when a political arrangement created in 1914 continues to generate instability more than a century later? We are going to look into these issues. Stay with us. Stay with me. Because by the end of this broadcast, you will understand why the world may soon be forced to confront the Nigerian question. It is long overdue. The Nigerian question needs to be confronted. It is long, long, long overdue. It is so sad that they have refused to address it. But no matter what, we will continue to hammer on this. Every one of us know what gave birth to the sit at home on Monday that I'm talking about. Something that has shocked observers across Africa. The Monday sit at home. For several years now, every Monday, many parts of southeastern Nigeria economic activities slow down dramatically. Markets close, business shuts their doors, roads become quieter. Not because of government decree, not because of military curfew, but because of political protests sustained by the people themselves. People themselves, always remember that. Why is it that everything that the people want is what the government of Nigeria is against? Why is it that everything that the people want is what the politicians are against? Why is it that whenever the people make a move for something, that is when the government will come against that thing? Think about this carefully. In political science, peaceful civil resistance movement are some of the most powerful expression of public sentiment. When ordinary citizens voluntarily withdraw economic participation to make a political point, the action sends a very strong message. So that is why you see how they have unleashed the dragon against the Biafrans, led by Soludo, trying forcefully. The same people that are telling you, don't force me to sit at home, they are now the people that are forcing people not to sit. You can understand. You can see. A symbol of collective expression that people have, you want to take it away from them. People in Biafra land already know that their voice is not heard, not considered. Every one of them know that they are not part of the suit, and we took our part. But instead of those who claim to be your representatives to support you, they stand against you. It is sad. But we must continue. We will never give up. The resilience of the Igbo people. History shows that resilience is one of the defining characteristics of the Igbo nation. They are very, very resilient. The Igbos are very resilient. This is the truth. It is not to praise anybody or to exert authority or to... No. This is the fact. After the Nigerian Civil War ended in 1970, the Igbo people faced enormous economic challenges. We faced enormous economic challenges after the Civil War. Many Igbos had lost properties, many lost savings, many communities were devastated. Yet, within a few decades, something remarkable happened. In the midst of all those lost, The Igbo race, mainly the Igbo people, they lost almost everything that they had within that 3 years war. Yet, within a few decades, something remarkable happened across Nigeria and across the world. Igbo entrepreneurs rebuilt business, created markets, established manufacturing clusters, and formed global trade network with nothing. With nothing. They rebuilt from nothing. That alone should teach Nigeria a lesson that these are people that you need to embrace if you must succeed. The Igbo people are a typical example of success. And when you see somebody that hates success, how do you think that that person will succeed? Nigeria don't want to see success. They hate success. Nigeria hates to hear success. When you mention success, they get upset. So how can such a country grow? Attacking the Igbo race, rejecting the Igbos is rejecting success. And it is not out of pride. This is a fact. Judging from where they have come from how they developed to the level they are today, it is only worth emulating, not to curse, not to abuse, not to insult. It's worth emulating. Whatever they have done to get that far ought to be emulated, ought to be studied by every other tribe. It ought to be taught in school because we grew out from nothing and we became in charge. Today, Igbo business communities exist across Africa, Europe, Asia, and America. From nothing, they take charge of the economy in Nigeria, even when everything was taken away from them. From commerce to technology to manufacturing, the Igbo spirit of enterprise continues to drive economic activities. This resilience raises an important question. If a people possess such economic creativity and determination, why are they often portrayed as a problem within the Nigerian political conversation? This is the question that everybody should be asking themselves. From other regions, other tribes that makes up that particular contraction called Nigeria, more especially the Yoruba tribe. If a people possess such economic creativity and determination to bounce back after they lost everything within a very short space of time, why are they often portrayed as a problem within the Nigerian political conversation? Why? Could it be that the narrative has been shaped by politics rather than reality? Question. Because when we look objectively, the Igbo contribution to Nigeria includes, these are reality. It is not a made-up story. The Igbo contribution in Nigeria includes commerce, industrial development, innovation, regional trade network, entrepreneurship. These are not characteristics of a problem, are they? These things I mentioned are not characteristics of a problem in a country. When you contribute in commerce, in industrial development, in innovation, regional trade network, and entrepreneurship, how does that amount to a problem? These are characteristics of a nation-building force. The Igbos are nation-building force. And there is no way you can push them aside and succeed. It is better they are not with you. You be on your own and build it. But in a place where they are part of, where you claim they are part of, you cannot shove them by the corner and succeed. It is impossible. That is why Nigeria is irredeemable. And when we are talking about breakup, it is to save life. It is to save other region. It is to save every other region in that country, because As long as you continue to hold people down, you will remain down. So letting go is also for their own interest. I want to let you know that the Igbos are the solution Nigeria has ignored. Let us explore a provocative idea. What if Nigerian long-term stability actually depends on fully embracing the strength of all its people, including the Igbos? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever sat one day and you think, what if Nigerian long-term stability actually depends on fully embracing the strength of its people, including the Igbos? Because for years, all we have seen is rejection of the Igbos in the contemporary Nigeria. No matter how they try to work within that framework called Nigeria, they are rejected. They are seen as a problem. They are seen as an enemy. It didn't start today. It didn't start yesterday. It has been. What if Nigerian long-term stability actually depends on fully embracing the strength of the Igbos? Economic history shows that societies thrive when innovation, trade, and enterprise are encouraged. This is a fact. Economic history shows that society can only strive when innovation, trade, and enterprises are encouraged. In Nigeria, those who are in charge of innovation, trade, and enterprise are the Igbos. But they are not accepted. They are not integrated into Nigeria. And yet you want to hold them down and claim their territory. And you think you will grow. It is impossible. The Igbo economic model, built around entrepreneurship and community investment, has proven extremely effective. Markets such as Aba, Onitsha, Nnewi become powerful commercial hubs because of this spirit. But today, instead of Nigeria seeking for a means of expanding these places and making use of what they have, they are destroying them. Today, they are using Soludo to destroy the biggest market in West Africa, Onitsha main market. A country that wants to grow and survive, but they are destroying a market, the biggest market in West Africa. They have made billionaires. They are destroying it in the name of renovation. That never happened until we began to talk about sit at home. Just to force their way into the will of the people. The Igbo economic model, built around entrepreneurship and community investment, has proven extremely effective. The lesson here is simple. Instead of seeing diversity as a threat, nations that succeed turn diversity into an advantage. But in Nigeria, the diversity in Nigeria is a threat. In fact, is the greatest problem that Nigeria has, the diversity. There is nothing don't even talk about managing the diversity. It's not possible. They can speak all their grammar, diversity is strength. The diversity of Nigeria is not strength, it is weakness. It is because of the diversity that deaths have continued to happen and will not stop. It is because of the diversity that there is death everywhere. This is a conversation Nigeria must eventually confront, no matter how they try to run away from it. No matter how they try to dodge it, this diversity, the deadliest thing that is destroying that country, diversity. And that is why we are calling for disintegration. That everybody will go their separate ways, grow in their own space and in their own speed. Because the future of any modern country depends on how it manages its diversity and distribution opportunity. But in Nigeria, you have seen how they distribute the opportunity. You see how they manage their diversity. Do you think any country can succeed? A place where you don't choose people according to their expertise. You choose people according to their zone. A country that has brains, right, left, and center, but yet, go and check the leadership of the country. There are people who nobody knows their qualifications or the school they attended. And yet, they are the one running the affair of the country. Now we arrive at the deeper historic issue, the 1914 Amalgamation. In that year, the British colonial administrations merged multiple distinctive regions and ethnic nations into one political entity called Nigeria, forcefully putting all of them together. This arrangement was largely administrative and economic. It has nothing to do with nation building. It has nothing to do with nation building. The amalgamation was solely for administrative and economic purposes. But many historians argue that political integration of these diverse groups was never fully negotiated by the people themselves, which is absolutely right. It was never negotiated. And if you think it is a lie, I want to play a video to confirm to you that the amalgamation was not negotiated. And they know, these idiots, they know. Listen to this word, this speech of Goodluck Jonathan.
Some of our founding leaders, and I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought forth, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country.
You have heard it. You know, most times when we say this thing, you think that they are strange words that people don't know. Even your presidents in that country, those who are running Nigeria, knows very well that that country is not meant to be one. That people are forced together, they are not meant to be together. So most times when we come online and we talk about the separation of Nigeria, it is not out of hate. It is not out of ignorance. It is based on facts on the ground. But unfortunately, the people in that contraption do not believe in the truth. They do not accept truth. They believe in everything that is deception and lies. Recently, you saw their disgrace in Al Jazeera, how somebody was denying what he said in a national TV, shamelessly denying and laughing over it. He was denying and laughing over it, making a drama out of it. You don't see such kind of attitude in a serious country. The unseriousness of the contraption called Nigeria is disturbing. And no sensible person will sit back and watch how Nigeria is running itself and you want to be part of it. Only fraudsters, only clueless and heartless people will want to be part of that madness. But every genuine, sensible person will walk out. Different regions develop different political expectations, cultural identities, and economic priorities. The result has been a recurring national debate about how Nigeria should be constructed. How Nigeria should be structured. That has been the debate every blessed day since that very independent up to the scene, from amalgamation to date. The people of Nigeria themselves are looking for how Nigeria can be structured. But I bet you, the more you continue to look for a way to do anything within that same name called Nigeria, the more you are causing more damages. The best thing to do is for people to go back to where they are coming from. Go back to who you were, and then later on you can come back. If you choose to, based on an agreement that you've been written by yourself. Today, some advocate restructuring. Some advocate for true federalism. Those of us who are Biafrans, we discuss peaceful separation and confederation. That's what we're talking about. We are talking about peaceful separation and confederation. All these things are discussed on the board, which shows you that all is not well. Some people are advocating restructuring, some people are advocating true federalism, and those of us in agitation, we are talking about peaceful separation or confederation. That is what we're asking for. Regardless of the position one takes, the underlying issue remains clear. No matter which one you belong, no matter whatever you're asking for, the underlying issue remains clear. The Nigerian political arrangement continues to generate debates more than a century after it was created. More than a century after creation, the debates continue. Nigeria has not managed to become a nation and will never, ever be a nation. You can continue to deceive yourself for years. You can continue to push any agenda you like. You can continue to deceive yourself. But the truth will remain the truth. Today, another development is slowly emerging. Global observers increasingly pay attention to internal tension in large and strategically important countries like Nigeria. Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation and one of its largest economies, as they say. When a country of that size faces persistent political debates about its structure. International institutions and diplomatic actors often begin to monitor the situation closely. Today, Nigeria is a country of particular concern. And our prayer is that the international community should continue to pay attention and answer the question of Nigeria as quick as possible. If that question is not answered, nothing is going to be done. This does not automatically mean intervention. But it does mean that conversation about governance, stability, and political dialogue can attract global attention, just like we have seen. History shows that when internal disputes last for decades without resolution, the international community sometimes encourages dialogue, mediation, or constitutional reform. For case of Nigeria, we have passed all this. Movement have made for dialogue, it never work. Mediation, it's not going to work. Constitutional reform, definitely not going to work. The only mediation that is needed in Nigeria today is international mediation to come in and then conduct a referendum or accept a referendum and then allow people to go their separate ways. Create country along value system. Let every region respect their value system and go along with it. If you want to be in a Sharia country, you stay in the core north, Sharia nation. The Middle Belters will be on their own. The Biafrans will have their secular system. The Oduduwa people, the Yorubas will go on with their monarchical system that suits them. That is all we're asking. Therefore, the Nigerian question is not only a domestic discussion. Some of you think it's just about it is not. Nigerian question is no longer domestic issue. It is no longer domestic issue. That is why you see the drug baron in Asarok running for a helter skelter, entering agreement with anybody that calls him. Any country that gives him a call, he goes and reach agreement. Today, almost all the world powers have interest in Nigeria. They have one thing or the other doing Nigeria. France is there, UK is there, China is there, the US is there, and some other country they have dragged into the picture. It has gradually become part of a broader conversation about stability and governance in Africa. The way forward is what we have to be looking for. And we have said about it, spoken about it several times, and we are not changing from what we see as the solution. So what is the way forward? History suggests several possible paths for countries facing structural political debate. History has suggested so many things. There are things you can choose from to sort out the problem of Nigeria. Dialogue. Dialogue have been tried. It never worked. There was a dialogue before the Civil War. Did it work? It never worked. Constitutional reform. Constitutional reform have been tried. It didn't work. Dialogue, first of all, was tried. It was tried before the Civil War in Aburi. It didn't work. Obasanjo came and created the Okuta panel. That Okuta panel was a dialogue, in case you don't know. Okuta panel was meant to be a dialogue, but did it work? It never worked. Constitutional reform. Goodluck Jonathan came in with constitutional reform, conducted a constitutional conference. Did it work? It never worked. They threw it on the dustbin. They threw it on the dustbin. It never worked. In fact, they didn't want to look at it. Constitutional reform. Restructuring. You remember your vice president said restructuring my food. Shetima said restructuring his food, telling you that he is not one of the part of it. Regional autonomy. Regional autonomy also have been put in place, and they never agreed. That regional autonomy was part of what was discussed in Aburi, and they rejected it. Or new political arrangement negotiated peacefully. Who is going to negotiate the new political arrangement? Who? From every indication, every necessary thing have been tried, and none of them worked. And the only thing that is left is peaceful separation. Peaceful separation. What matters most is that discussions occur through peaceful engagement and mutual respect. Because the ultimate goal should always be stability, justice, prosperity for all community. That is what we're asking for. The only thing we've been asking for: stability, justice, prosperity for all communities, not just for the Biafran people, for all communities. And how can you get that? How can you get stability? How can you get justice? How can you get prosperity for all community? The only way you can achieve that is by peaceful separation. Peaceful separation. Let people peacefully separate and go their separate ways. That is the only way you can achieve anything good. Peaceful separation. Why is it difficult for people to key in? Why is it difficult for the world to make that statement? After everything have been tried, have failed. Dialogue has failed. Constitutional reform has failed. Restructuring has failed. Regional autonomy has failed. A new political arrangement negotiated peacefully has also failed. The only thing remaining is disintegration. And when you talk about political arrangement negotiated peacefully, you know it's not going to happen. Is it through their election that you are seeing? Is it through their manipulated figures and numbers of election? A corrupt system? How can a corrupt system give you a political arrangement negotiated peacefully? You know it's not going to. It's peaceful disintegration of the contraption called Nigeria, so that people can go their separate ways. The Biafran people have fought a great battle, and we have tried as much as possible to speak it in a way that people will understand. Not out of anger, not out of hate, but out of love. The earlier the people Nigeria begin to see Biafrans as genuine people, the better. Our quest for self-determination is not out of wickedness. We didn't just wake up and begin to talk about self-determination. It is because Nigeria has refused to reintegrate us into Nigeria. We do not have the same value system. The people they call their founding father, who never founded Nigeria, also confirm that we are not one. You see, that is the funny thing about Nigeria. Everything is just a lie. You will see them to their national television. They come and tell you, oh, people that founded Nigeria, they are founding fathers. When you say founding father, what do they find? You call them founding father, what do they find? How did they found Nigeria when they were not there, when the agreement was signed for amalgamation? None of them put their signature on behalf of their people for amalgamation. None of them were consulted for amalgamation. So how do you call them a founding father of Nigeria? And every one of us run with that language, founding fathers. They mentioned Dr. Nandazikiwe, they mentioned Tafa Balewa, and they mentioned Awolowo. Then they give them that title, founding father. And these same people came out and told you that Nigeria is not one. We are not one, and we'll never be one. They didn't miss what he said it. And I just played a video where Goodluck Jonathan also confirmed it. A former president. Hear him again.
Some of our founding leaders, and I feel that probably this will help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought forth, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere...
Nigeria is not a nation, but a mere geographical expression.
Geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh.
There are no Nigeria in the same vein there are English and Welsh people.
Or friends, the word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to
the word Nigeria is merely a distinctive appellation.
Distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former...
Awolowo said Nigeria is just a description of the people in a certain area. It is not a nation. Awolowo, that you call your founding father, disagree that there is a country called Nigeria. He called it just a geographical expression to identify people in a certain area. It's not a nation, has never been, and will never be. The person that said, Awolowo, one of your founding fathers, and the person that is talking and reading it is Goodluck Jonathan, former president of Nigeria.
Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria.
There was no country called Nigeria 60 years ago.
Of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Ahmadu Bello, former premier of Northern Region.
Sir Ahmadu Bello never believed that we are one. In fact, he told Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Awolowo to their face that we are not one. We are not one. There's no way we can be called to be one. We are not one, and we will never be one. That was why when the BBC interviewed him and asked him, why are you so obsessed about the Igbos? He said what he said, and he went ahead to say that instead of them to allow the Igbos or the Yorubas to run affairs, they will look for an outsider, a British, to run the affair for them. That even if they decide to choose somebody within, it has to be on contract, just like they have chosen the drug baron for contract. The drug baron you see in Asura today is there on contract. And he's going to do their bidding, whether you like it or not.
They thought, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only...
Nigeria has never and will never show themselves any sign of uniting because they are not one. Nigeria has never, will never show any sign that they want to unite because their value system is not one. This is a fact that all these people seated here are ex-presidents, ministers, and they know this truth. Lawmakers, and yet, when they go to their house of assembly, ask me what do they discuss on how to solve this problem. Why are they not ready to allow people go their separate ways?
The British intention for the country.
Nigeria is just British intention for a country. Dr. Nundaski said that. And with all this fact, you will still see people. They will come. They want to die for Nigeria. Even your founding fathers are not ready to die for Nigeria because they know there's nothing called Nigeria. They call it geographical expression. It's not a country, has never been, and will never be. The only reason the West is supporting it is that they will continue to manipulate you while you fight yourself and they will take your resources. When are the people going to wake up and know that it is better to go our pathways and grow in their own space, in our own speed, and again, have our own arrangement if we later want to be together? The arrangement should come from us, not from outside. The arrangement should come from within, not from outside. What does it take for a black man to open his brain and do the right thing? Today, out of envy and jealousy, you wouldn't like to listen because, oh, it is the Biafran people that are in the front line asking for this. And for that, you will not pay attention. The Biafran people have made their voice heard on different angles after the detention of Mazen Nandekano through the sit at home. And the world looking in Nigeria should know that the sit at home protest remind the world that people will always seek way to express their political voices. The resilience of the Igbo people demonstrate the power of determination and entrepreneurship. And the ongoing debate about the 1914 amalgamation shows that historical decisions can continue to shape political reality for generations. Nigeria stands at a crossroad. The choice made in the coming years will determine whether the country evolves towards greater unity, restructuring, or a new political arrangement. But one truth remains undeniable. The Igbo people are not the weak people. We are not. We have never been and will never be. The Igbos are not weak. In case you think they are weak, we are not. We have never been and we will not. We are not weak people. We are resilient. We are innovative. We are economically powerful and historically determined to shape their own destiny. Nigeria is holding us captive. Nigeria is holding us captive, and we want to go. Nigeria is holding us captive. Every Biafran must continue to speak. Every Igbo person must continue to speak and call for your freedom. Continue to make your opinion, share this video to any angle that you can share, like and share to people. Let everyone join the conversation of this disintegration of Nigeria. It is important to disintegrate Nigeria. We can never be silent. No matter how they try to silence us, we will not allow them to silence us. We have worked so hard to get this far. The Igbos are not the problem. The Igbos are actually the solution. But why is Nigeria afraid of the solution? That is the question. From every indication, from everything we have seen, Igbos are not and have never been the problem. Why is it that Nigeria cannot tap into their wisdom? Just like they destroyed every artifact that found during the Civil War, every engineering findings and discoveries during the Civil War, they destroyed the books and burned them. Only mad people do that. Something they should have kept sacred and studied. How Biafrans managed to survive 3 good years of civil war with little or nothing. With little or nothing. Improvised their own weapon, cultivated their land in the midst of the war, built runway, aircraft for themselves. All this were documented. But do you know that Nigerian soldiers, they burned all these documents, destroyed them. And after destroying it for how many years now, Nigeria has not been able to produce one single thing that Biafrans produced within that 3 years. They have not been able to make any progress in anything. They have not. I want us to pay attention to it. Let us listen to this very video.
Are known as very entrepreneurial. There is no community you go to in all the 774 local governments in Nigeria that you will not find an able man doing a business, running a shop. And it's not just running it alone. You know, he has apprentices who are working under him, who will serve that apprenticeship, you know, for 6 years, for 7 years, and at the end of the day, they stand on their own. In fact, it is interesting that even beyond reports, it is a subject of study in Harvard, Harvard University. You know, the Igbo apprenticeship system.
It's the largest business incubator in the world.
In the world. There is one Professor Ndubisi Okeke who says, look, Harvard is looking at it, and there is a major report that is likely to come out at some point in the Harvard Business Review, you know, about this framework. And it's a framework that can be emulated by other communities, by other, you know, entrepreneurs around the world. Igbos are not just doing trading in Nigeria. They are trading across the world. They are trading, you know, across West Africa, you know, adopting the same framework that has become, you know, a great...
The person that's speaking here, don't forget, is one of our haters. This is one of our haters. The only time they recognize that when they come about this issue of trading, entrepreneurship, they can't hide it. They can't shy away. And that is also what they are jealous of. That is what they are jealous of. That apart from this, in every other things, they take us and throw us to dustbin. Even after saying all these wonderful words, the next minute, they will swing it and begin to tell you that we are dominating. They will translate it to be domination. They will say they like to dominate. They are too arrogant. Instead of acknowledging our good deed, they will divert it and change it to something different. Let's hear.
Model. And there are many prominent Nigerians, as we have seen in that report, who started from this economics level. However, there is a flip side to it. The flip side to it, in my view, has to do with the school enrollment figures. There was a time in this country we were worrying about boys' school enrollment figures from the Southeast, because there's no peg in terms of the age at which you join the Umune framework. So you now have a generation of young men from the southeastern part of Nigeria who very early will go to join a master and learn from that master. And then, you know, after a few years, they stand on their own, they create their own wealth, they share prosperity, you know. But at the end of the day, we now found that there was a boy-child education issue in the southeast of Nigeria, you know, because the enrollment figures were going down. And the girl child in the southeast was, you know, in terms of school enrollment going up. But however, there's this big joke in Nigeria that, okay, the man who has gone to Alaba and Aba to go and be an apprentice. He will now come out and marry a PhD holder and marry, a multiple graduate, and then say, well, I may not have gone to school, but I have money, but I've used my money to get my wife for MOSC. Okay, that's the only challenge there. But the bigger side of it is the values which came out of that. Values about communalism, values about loyalty, values about street wisdom, values about, learning how to survive and developing individual capacity in an informal system. And, we're not surprised that this is a major subject of study in business schools from Lagos to Harvard.
Yeah, but you made this point about the boy education issue, but I do wish that girls and women would be trained in this manner as well, because that entrepreneurial spirit is present in women as well. It's not the exclusive preserve of the male.
It's a very, very valid point made there, Tundo. We all know this. We cannot celebrate it enough. It's a good model for all of us, and it's something we should all learn from. I think something that is quite instructive here is this. It dates way back. It goes back to the time of the Nnewi Youth League, and I keep talking about the Nnewi Youth League a lot. The Nnewi Youth League was set up by Ojuku's father and some other people out of Nnewi to be able to further a system like this that had been around even much earlier. So what they did was to create a scheme where young boys were given capital to be able to set up business after mentoring them and helping them go through the ladder. And like you said, Nigeria is replete with people that went through the system. The Chikasin, the Gabros, the Innocents of this world, all of them started as traders, and then they scaled up the ranks. And some of them have become multinationals and big businesses today. Secondly, another very instructive thing about this system is the fact that it gives shared empowerment. We keep talking about 33% unemployment rate in this country. We keep talking about a high level of poverty, but it gives shared empowerment across board. It is a system that when you go through it, you have a freedom ceremony, and the person gives you a seed capital. So it's pretty much like any other business. You go through a mentorship system, they give you a seed capital to set up, and also they give you credit capital, because obviously for every trading business, you need buyer's credit out there, and they set you up and they monitor you. And the good thing about it is the pass-on mechanism, the fact that you have to pass it on to other people too and help them grow. And that's why you can see we can build a great chain of wealth, and it's rife in the eastern part of the country. I mean, unemployment rate in places like Anambra, you see, is low. Why? Because of entrepreneurship systems like this. If a lot of Igbo people lost their money after the Civil War, and this system has been able to help bridge a gap, it just shows you that there's a method to the madness of money, and entrepreneurship and apprenticeship is the way to go. Dr. Abati, I love university education, but I don't believe in it. I believe in apprenticeship system for a lot of young people to be able to help them get up the ladder. Yeah, you can get a university degree, yeah, but apprenticeship system too is also important.
You can hear them speak about these issues in Nigeria. This is the only area that when they discuss it, they can't be able to hide it because it's too obvious and too open that you can't deny. If they had a way to take it away from us, they would have taken it away from us. But the only reason why they can't take this away from us, that is why sometimes when people say that Igbos don't love themselves, I don't believe that. We do love ourselves. In as much as we know that there are some people who are mad out there, there are some people who are so selfish and self-centered. There are people who are so individualistic, but still, it is because of the love we have for ourselves. That is why we have been able to survive to date. And when it comes to this apprentice system, it is not, you can, people are even jealous of it. There was a time this lady, Aisha herself was saying in her program that we should include other tribes in our apprentice system. Imagine. So many of them are envy. She made it in her program that few other tribes are jealous and envy. That they say, why are we not including them in our apprentice system? How can we even think of including you? Will you be able to serve? Will you be able to serve? Like you will serve in a place. You see somebody, an Igbo boy or Igbo man will serve his master for 3, 5, 7 years. Will a Yoruba person or a Hausa person serve you for that long without being targeted abuse? Will they serve you that long without being targeted that you use them, you did what? Because in everything we are dealing with them, even in ordinary thing we deal with them, they say you are using them. then how much more when they come to serve you for that long? The apprentice system is on different angles. There are people who serve and they are settled with money. There are people who are not settled with money. They just learn the business and they move on with their life and they make it. From there, they build connection, they build credit facilities, and they come out and they begin to do their business and they make it. This is one thing that we hold that nobody can take away from it. The world is studying it and looking at it. And in a sensible country, how can you undermine such kind of people that have that power to build from nothing to something? Why would a country talk down on people who can build from nothing to something? Who can turn iron to gold? Who can make a desert a fertile land? Why? Which sensible country will go down, talk down on those people? Only people who are doomed for destruction. That is why when I say Nigeria is irredeemable, it is because of the attitude of that contraption, because of why, the way it was created and for the reason for which it was created. I have said it several times on this my program that Nigeria is working the way the owners want it to work. If you disagree with me, come and debate it. The only people that are seeing it that is not working fine is you and I, those of us who are seeking for something genuine. But for the creators of Nigeria and the people that put it in place, it is working the way they themselves want it to work. It is working for them the way they want it to work. The only people that complain are the genuine people. But the people who created Nigeria for control and for economic purpose, as long as they continue to control you, control your word, how you say things, how you live, how you go about your daily life, control your resources, take it at will, do whatever they want with it, as long as this is happening, for them, it is okay. They have no problem. They will never complain. The people that continue to complain is you and I. And we will complain forever. Why they continue to do what they want to do. So wherever you are watching this program from, I want you to know, if you are a one Nigerianist, I want you to know that you are fighting the wrong battle. That the people you are afraid of today, the Igbos, are actually the solution to Nigeria. Everyone that will come across this video, I want you to know that the people you are talking down on are the solution to that contraption called Nigeria. And until you embrace them, until you listen to them, your situation will get worse. Igbos are the solution, not the problem. You don't need to fear them. You need to listen to them, what they are saying. Because everything they are saying is what is tested and tried and tested. Look at the messages of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. All the thing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said for a decade now is just like opening a book from page to page is happening. Everything that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu spoke about is just like opening a book. It's playing out page by page, page by page, page by page. It's not just that I'm saying it. You go to their conventional media, you see people saying the same thing I'm saying. But at the same time, they will deny that fact and prefer to be in darkness. And you'll be wondering, why is it that with all this truth before them, why are they still in denial? That is the $1 million question. Why are they still in denial? Because they don't want to give that credit to who the credit is due. They don't want it to be said, oh, it's an Igbo man. Nnamdi Kanu was the one that predicted it and it happened. He was right. They don't want to say that you were right. Instead, they prefer to discredit you. My fellow Biafrans, stand your ground. Continue to pursue what you are pursuing. And at the end of the day, I bet you, we will all be vindicated. Let us take a quick break and we come back for the last set of the program.
Follow for God, them say Tinubu don't follow for God. Tinubu don't follow for God. He want to take it, that's the top of our head. Senate house fall and the criminals, country military fall and the terrorists, injustice, motor shop forget law for inside court. Kangaroo republic at the government. Abubakar Malami don't fall for God. Him and GFCC put leg for shit. Them say Sheikh Kukumi don't fall for God. Because Donald Trump don't come to Machamo. He go matching Boko boys, matching terrorists. As the government knows a big way for kidnapping to stop. I make it don't fall for God. Them making Nigerians see one die for suffer.
Welcome back, welcome back. Let us take some review of their news as they come. This one says, appeal court uphold conviction of ex-army property boss Mohammed over 2.9 million and 1.65 billion fraud. This is the kind of amount, when you hear some of the amount this will embezzle, and these people are all northerners. The greatest criminals, fraudsters you have in Nigeria, they are all northerners. But at the end of the day, they go scot-free. But if it were to be a southerner, it will be on the news. They will never let them go. It will be on the news continuously. A country where billions and billions and billions are looted. Informations are given. Whistleblowers blow, and yet nothing is done. A country that is rich and still yet borrowing, they have the money, they are still yet borrowing, and they borrow, they share. They borrow, they reloot. It is so sad. It is so sad. I pity those who still think that something is going to be salvaged from Nigeria. Nothing. This one says, ISWAP releases disturbing video of March 5 attack. The attack they made on the March 5th on 4 Nigerian army bases in Borno. You can imagine. 4 Nigerian army bases. They attack it and they release the video. They release the video. That is to show you how serious these people are. That when you are hearing about them, you think it's a joke. It is not a joke. Look at the video. This is the video that the ISWAP released. In case you have not seen it. How they attack 4 army bases. They released the video. You can imagine. This is happening in Nigeria. And these are the weapons that they got. You see how they attack the army base? You can imagine their boldness. They attack the base, they record it, and they play it. ISWAP really look at armor, look at the armor they captured. Look at arms that they captured. Can you see what they captured? Can you see what they captured? Can you see what they captured from military base in Nigeria? Do you see? This is happening in Nigeria. And nobody cares. They don't care. All they care about is Biafra agitators. They are very well, what they care about is to attack the agitators. Every day it is Biafra agitators they talk about. Go to their media. Chasing after the Liberation Army that are pursuing a genuine cause. That's what they do. But look at their barracks. How ISWAP invaded their barracks, bombed their vehicles, and cut away with arms. You see the number of arms they showed you. They destroyed their armor tanks. Look at. Imagine. Imagine. 4 military barracks they raided. 4 barracks was raided in a night. 4 barracks were ready. Look at the ammunition that they gathered. These are the things that they recovered from Nigerian army. They recovered, all this was recovered. See how equipped they are. These things are in Nigeria. And you see the boldness of these people. They will record it and they will post it. You don't even need to say you want. They will record it, they post it and show it to you. This is how bold they are. But they don't care. What they care about is Liberation Army of Nigeria, of Biafra. They care about Southeast. That is where they go to disturb the innocent people in the Southeast, taking innocent lives. 4-story school building collapsed in Lagos. Student teachers escaped death. That's it. Breaking. Dangote refinery raises petrol price to una never see anything. We gonna go later buy this petrol 2,000. I said it. Once Dangote come into a business, it's gone. You see, Dangote refinery raises petrol price to 1,175 per liter in third hike within a week. Third hike within a week. They told you that Dangote have gotten refinery. Now that Dangote have refinery, petroleum will be cheap. It will be everywhere. Don't worry. You never see anything. Only idiots will rejoice when they see this kind of people taking over any investment in Nigeria. Mad people. Breaking. Boko Haram killed Nigerian Army commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Omar Farouk, in Borno attack. See, Lieutenant Colonel Omar Farouk gone. You see, that's how they are taking out officers. They only announce even senior officers. What about the junior officers? Their own is not even announced. Even their family don't know their whereabouts. They won't even speak to their families. Look at the handsome man who went the name of serving Nigerian army. Look at him. Common ragtag Boko Haram took him away. And they will come and tell you that you should come and join military in Biafra land. They tell you, Igbo man, come and join. You are a mad man. If you are an Igbo person and you are joining military, this is what awaits you. This is what awaits you. Apart from the marginalizing you in the force, you will get yourself in the front. Because that is where they will always post you. You will go and die. Mad people. Amechi gave job meant for Rivers people to girlfriends as Buhari minister. Ijo leader say Sarah Igbe. Not only Amechi, all of them they are giving to their girlfriends. All of them. You don't know Amechi. That one is not a new thing. Police DIG is shielding church primates from prosecution after physically assaulting me. Church PRO. That is it. Their politics enter church too. You enter church too. Primates. Why not go shield them? All of them are the same. Internal report exposes leadership failure at Tinubu. Linked Alpha Beta consultant forced to quit within 3 months. Alpha Beta case, we had in Truan. Nobody even talking about it. Tinubu is an outlaw in Nigeria. Police report reveals 11 custodies deaths in 10 months at Okozo, SARS. Whistleblower Ume still detained. That is it. You blow whistle, they jail you. Meanwhile, the people that you expose continue to enjoy themselves. They jail the whistleblower. And the perpetrators of the evil are still walking free, still enjoying their salary. Zamfara Governor Dauda Lawal, deputy, dump PDP, joining ruling APC. That one is not news. Nigeria's Debt Management Office spent 52.1 million on staff tea in 2025. To drink tea, they used 25 million naira to drink tea. Very good. APC crisis deepened in Kwara amid protests over alleged manipulation of executive list. I never see anything. how Tinubu-led Nigerian government paid over 2 billion into private account of ex-militant leaders. Imagine. Ex-militant leader. Then when I either Asaro Dogobo or Tompolo, imagine 2 billion they put into the account. That is why you see all of them acting like mad people. When you see Asaro Dogobo shouting and Tompolo forgot what he's doing and doing different things, you will think it's a joke. Nigeria can pay you anything to put you on board. You can imagine the amount they are offering Mazen Nandeka. They can give you anything to bring you on board. How Tinubu-led Nigerian government paid over 2 billion into private account of ex-militant leader. Seventh U.S. soldier killed in Iranian conflict, identified as 26-year-old sergeant from Kentucky. They have lost 7 soldiers now. Bandits kill 1, abduct 27 persons, including pregnant women in Zamfara community. See? They are running rampage in Nigeria. U.S. evacuate embassy staff in Saudi Arabia as Iran launches sustained attacks. Army confirm over 100 terrorists stormed Sokoto as troops neutralize 3 fighters. Over 100. Only 3 now you feel neutralized. You see the machine where they go for hands. God have mercy. Yoruba Union denounces Igbo support for Tinubu. APC. Yoruba Union denounces Igbo support for Tinubu. APC says life cannot be traded for politics. Igbo has gone back. He has gone back to his former business now. We know him to be a political talk right from the time. He has gone back to his former business. It's not easy to be. It's not easy to be an activist or to be a freedom fighter. It's not by mouth. It's not by mouth. You have to be ready. Nigerian police failed to release probe report on custodial death at Okozo anti-kidnapping unit. They will not. They will not. Bandits kidnapped Ondo LCDA secretary, Oludesi, 2 others near Akure Airport. You can imagine. Yoruba people don't hear them. The kidnapping now is Yoruba land. That's where they are focused. Kwara, Ondo. They are focused in Yoruba land. And they have the president. That is why you see, presidency will only make your situation worse. Look at Tinubu. Tinubu is a Yoruba man. But today, his own place is more traveled. The same thing happened when Buhari was there. When Buhari was president, Katsina was the most heated. Katsina State, his own hometown, was the most heated place. Sometimes, even when he visits, they attack it. When we say Nigeria can never get better, you won't understand. Some of you are crying for Igbo presidency. Pray it doesn't come. If they give you that presidency, your side, you become the most terrorized place in that country. You will become the most terrorized. Look at what the Yorubas are facing today because of Tinubu. See what the Yorubas are facing because of Tinubu. Kaduna businessman accuses Nigerian police officer of renewed threat after alleged 3.6 million extortion. What is it? Extortion everywhere. That's what they are known for. Lagos court remand 4 hotel workers over alleged 91.7 million, 3.4 million fraud. Whistleblower report exposes church fund corruption. Maladministration in Federal College Ehamufu, Enugu. Where Omahide, state of Omahi, that's what happened. A fraudster. What do you expect to see in his state? Fraud up and down. Nigerian inspector brutally attacked in Edo mob attack, now confined to wheelchair. Alleged police abandonment. They work for police. That's it now. Our police serve Nigeria, come back in shame. You there for wheelchair. When you there, they chop bribe. Who you complain to? That is it. Death toll from devastation flood in Kenya capital Nairobi hit 42. Flood. Controversy as Senate removes Senator Natasha's name from UN Women event, replaces her with male counterparts. This Natasha, they won't take her eye, see everything. They see what they never see for this one. Women event, they remove her name, replace it with a male counterpart. Akpabio now. Akpabio. Nigeria Railway Corporation. Nigeria Railway Corporation condemns alleged assault of UI lecturer, begins probe. That's right. US Embassy warned of possible terrorist threat to facilities, school in Nigeria. We know Nigeria, if they don't join, if threat don't come from Nigeria, we are again it go come. They have to be careful. You have to be careful. US Embassy in Nigeria need to be very careful. Rivers Assembly reject 4 commissioner nominee by Governor Fubara over poor performance in screening. Trump says Iran made huge mistake choosing Khamenei's son as new supreme leader. Alleged 80 billion fraud. EFCC witness tells court how Yahya Bello associate bought Abuja property for 650 million. EFCC. Bello, up to now, Bello now they can't arrest him. Bello is an outlaw. The man they couldn't arrest. Nigerian cops NSCDC forced to release Abuja residential illegally detained for days. Illegal detention everywhere in Nigeria. That's the normal thing. Osun government clashes with APC over governorship candidate Ayomaji alleged 40 million health grant corruption. US government to place Sudanese Muslim Brotherhood on terrorism sanctions. US government to place Sudanese Muslim Brotherhood on terrorism sanctions. US ain't joking. 2 parties, 1 face. The shameless politician Nigerians, hollow politics, and the vanishing line between APC and PDP by Daniel Nduka Okonkwo. Now, right, and I go right. You right, you do what you do now. Who cares? Over 100 soldiers killed in 1 week by Boko Haram as Nigerian army attack Sahara reporters over report. That is what they do. When you say the truth, they attack you. When you speak the truth, they come after you. Boko Haram is still very, very strong and active in Nigeria. Taking over barracks, taking the life of soldiers. At the same time, they will preaching repentance. They will be recruiting them to them. I have never seen this kind of nonsense before. I have never seen. Trump linked firm to make drone company public. Trump linked firm to make drone company public as president's son expand military tech. Coalition mobilizes Nigeria to High Court over exorbitant party nomination fees, demands refund from Electoral Commission. How do you? Nonsense. Nigerian Super Eagle ex-coach Festus Onegbende dies at 88. Rest in peace. I have someone in mind to lead Iran, Trump declares. Amid surge in oil prices, Iran vowed to no crude will be exported from Middle East. Amid surge in oil prices, Iran vows no crude will be exported from Middle East. PDP camp under Wike fixes March 29 for convention to Iraqi faction to approach Supreme Court. Madness. 5 Iranian women football team members granted asylum in Australia amid safety fears. They give you asylum. Small time now, you they there, they protest. That is the problem with them. It's not giving them asylum that is the problem. But are they going to change? Many of them that are having asylum in other countries, they go there and begin to protest and consume nuisance. That's my problem with them. It's not the asylum. The asylum is not the problem. But after giving them asylum, what do they do with it? That thing you are running from your country, you still come somewhere and you are practicing the same thing. Petroleum prices surges to 1,400 per liter as Nigerian government keeps mum. But I never see anything. PDP at the crossroads, the appeal court has reset the game by Dr. Don Pedro Baseki. Amnesty International again exposes alleged torture, custody deaths at Imo Command Tiger Base unit. This Tiger Base issue has always been there. Hope Uzodimma is using Tiger Base to harvest organs of our people. Hope Uzodimma is using Tiger Base for human parts business. Hope Uzodimma is using Tiger Base for assassination. There are evidence to this information, but yet, even Amnesty knows, but they won't do anything. We only hear them report. Once they report, they continue to go what they're doing. I can't even know the actual work of this Amnesty International, because in every investigation they have done, nothing has been carried out. All they do is to expose those items, and nothing is done. They expose it. Nobody is held accountable. Nobody is held accountable, and in most cases, the atrocity continues. At least 11 immigrants dead in U.S. immigration custody in 2 months. U.S. government must represent our interests. U.S. government must represent our interests, not Netanyahu's. Senator Sander criticizes Trump over Iranian war. Israel strike kills Catholic priests in Christian community in Lebanon. They will single that one out. It's a war. In war, people die. Collateral damage will always happen. Nigerian professor condemns police authority over 3 years detention of son. 3 years. Court ruling on PDP convention forced my defection to APC, says Zamfara Governor Lawal. Mad people everywhere. Survivor describes horror, death inside Owerri Police Tiger Base. There are many evidence about this Tiger Base. There are numerous people who have spoken about it, but for one reason or the other, as long as they are working for the APC, they will be untouchable. As long as they are working for APC, nothing is going to be done. Because the APC need them for 2027 to commit havoc, not just against the citizen, against the opponent, all the oppositions. This is the office they use for their false flag operations. And when they use them to conduct those operations, they will come back and tell you that it is a ESN. It is the Liberation Army. Tiger Base. They are the center of the false flag in Biafra land. Nigerian government knows every terrorist by name, location. You see, this is the testimony of the chief terrorist, Shegumi. The chief terrorist, Shegumi, he said, Nigerian government knows every terrorist by name and location. You can imagine. Shegumi is confidently telling you that they know every terrorist by name and location. So when they pretend to tell you they can't fight terrorists, oh, terrorists are doing, they know the intention. That is why we say Nigerian government is a terrorist government and they are sponsoring terrorism directly. Nigerian government is sponsoring terrorism. When we say it, people think we're just making it up or we are troublemakers. No, it is the truth and nothing but the truth. And we will continue to say it. It's either you listen or you refuse to. That's up to you. Whatever you do with information is your business. But as for us, it is our duty to speak, and we must continue to speak. Nigerian government is a terrorist government. That is why a Canadian court came and told you that all the ruling parties in Nigeria are terrorist organizations. And that is why today Nigeria is a country of particular concern. A chief terrorist is here telling you that Nigerian government knows every terrorist by name and location. So if you're one of those asking questions, why this, why that, ask no more. Now you have your answer. That Nigerian government intentionally allow those things that are happening to continue to happen. And there is nothing you can do about it. If you think you can wish it away, no. That is why we are asking for our freedom. That is why we are asking that they should let us out of this contraption called Nigeria. Let us go. Because the contraption is not meant for anyone. The contraption is not meant to save you. It is not meant to save me. It is not for our own good. But it is meant for the benefit of the criminals who are holding the people captive. So wherever you are, we must continue to do what we have to do. Don't you ever allow anybody to talk you down. Don't you ever allow anybody to talk you down. Don't allow pressure to make you change your mind. Continue to remain consistent in the request for self-determination. That quest for self-determination, remain consistent in it. That is the only thing we want. We want to be free. We want to be free from Nigeria. It is a peaceful request. We are making our request peacefully. Allow us to go. It is not a bad request to make. And we're not saying it out of envy, out of jealousy, out of anger. We are saying it because it's a legitimate request. And we will continue to make that request until our request is being listened to. So my fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom, people who are watching, those who were able to make it today, I appreciate every one of you that was able to join us. Thank you so much for joining. I can see Uchenna Victor. Thank you for joining, Uchenna Victor. I see my sister Messi Akere. Thank you. I see my brother Kochux. Thank you so much for joining. I see Gerard Vicky. Thank you for joining, Gerard. And every other person that joined there. I can see my sister Linda also. I appreciate everyone that have been able to connect to us today. If you have not yet shared this program, please like the program and share. Information is key. Information is power. Share it so that people that have questions that can equally come and ask us questions. People that are asking questions can equally get their answer from the videos I play. You know? It is not just hearing us, so that those who do not even agree with us can equally come here and confront us with their superior argument. Every one of us is seeking for answer. And in seeking for answer, we can go to any length to seek for answer. And if you have an answer for us, feel free to join us on our program and also give us your answer. You are entitled to your opinion. Everybody has the right to their opinion. You must not agree with everything I say. Likewise, myself, I am not obligated to agree to everything you say. What we do here is to interact, exchange views, and you go back home, look towards it, think towards it, and make your choice. The choice remains yours. I will not make choice for anybody. It is you that will make your own choice. Define your freedom for yourself. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect everyone that have been with us on this program, more especially those who are watching from Biafra land. I appreciate every one of you. And I also appreciate our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and pray that Chukwu Okabia will guide and protect him. I pray for our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa for divine protection. I pray that all our leaders will be secured and protected wherever they are. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for being part of this program. See you again later in the day by the special grace of Chukwu. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Stay blessed.
The very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chiko Ikabia Mapuni, Chineke, and Son of the Wena Ishala, Nina Cosa Hanson, Nana Jama, Anana Farosi, Okonane, all the and then saw no one but you know what? I would like you to believe that Samuel Ekpa is the cause of this. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I'm going to do in 5 years to come. Thank you.